Flanagan in towards Eamon Murphy and Ray McCarron. The break of the ball goes down towards Hugo Clarkin, trying to make an angle for himself. Difficult, but he got in a good kick. And a lovely point by the midfielder Hugo Clarkin. Taken low that time. Nudie Hughes. Jerry McCarville. Nudie Hughes running just about everywhere, moving into all kind of interesting positions, setting up chances for people like Jerry McCarville, looking for his own second point. He's got it. The sides are level thanks to Jerry McCarville. Kieran McNally there to help him, playing it very short, too short indeed. Ray McCarron lobbing it in. Paul Curran is under it, and what a lovely catch that was under pressure. But there, has put the sides level. He's delighted with himself.
For Monaghan. Here's Michael O'Dowd, who's playing almost as a third midfielder now. Ignore that number 13 on his back. Brendan Brady. Oh, the play is very tight in there. They're looking for room. Eugene Hughes might be the man to exploit the situation. He does well to spot Michael O'Dowd. But Monaghan can still score. Oh, the block down was excellently executed there. It might still come from Monaghan. Ray McCarron, not as accurate today with the left boot as he was against Armagh in that drawn semi-final. Brendan Brady. Through towards Eamon McEnany. Oh, this is a sticky situation for Derry. McEnany with the punch. It's in the net. The goal will be allowed. Oh, John Mackle, the Derry goalkeeper, will not be happy with that. Ray McCarron. Oh, this is dangerous. Knocked through and put in the net by Eamon McEnany. That's his second goal. That's Monaghan's second goal. That surely is the crucial score of this Ulster final so far.
Here is the Kerry selection, and just two changes from last year's winning side. Injury keeps Sean Welsh on the sidelines, but the good news is that he's back in contention again. John Higgins, a sub last year, continues at wing back, with Tom Spillane once again donning the number 3 shirt, while in attack Mikey Sheehy, robbed by injury of playing in last year's final, replaces John Egan, who's retired now from senior football. So a very experienced Kerry team. Let's check on the Monaghan lineup now. And Monaghan with one change from the team that beat Derry in the Ulster final. 22-year-old Eugene O'Hanlon has been preferred by manager Sean McCague to experienced Brendan Brady. In all, there are just 5 survivors from the Monaghan side thrashed at this stage in 1979 by 22 points, including goalkeeper Paddy Linden, defenders Jerry McCarville and Fergus Caulfield, midfielder Hugo Clarkin, and corner forward the great Nudie Hughes. Nudie indeed just back from honeymoon. He was telling me just before the game that temperatures there in Crete, where he spent 2 of the last 3 weeks, roughly 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Here in Croke Park today, I see that it's 15 degrees Celsius. And some few souls there were up on Hill 16. But really, the bulk of the support for this match today coming from the north, coming from Monaghan. Indeed, any green and gold scarves and flags that you see, you can disregard them as far as supporting Kerry is concerned. They came here to see Donegal, and a very fine Donegal minor side you'll have seen in action just before this, losing out in the end to an excellent Cork minor team. So it's 42-year-old Paddy Kavanagh there on the left of picture from County Meath, who is the match official. He also took charge of the Leinster football final this year. A match, of course, that Kevin Heffernan will remember. So a big day for Paddy Kavanagh there. One of his biggest occasions so far since he took up refereeing in 1959. A crowd today, I would think, around about 25,000 in all here present for this match, and it contrasts quite starkly with the crowd of 32,000 and more here in 1979. So here's Jack O'Shea, midfielder supreme, falling a bit short, I suppose, this year of the very high standards that he's set himself over the last couple of seasons. But there's John Higgins, number 7 there, but they tell me it was just a typing error that he wears the number 7 shirt. In fact, he'll be playing at right wing half. So, the parade of the teams, one of the big spectacles on All-Ireland semi-final day behind the Artane boys band. Gene Sherry from Scottstown in County Monaghan leading the men in white from Monaghan. And of course, it's Paddy O'Shea wearing number 2 who will lead the Kerry side. You'll see coming into frame in just a moment. So the players go back into their positions for the start of the match, now just minutes away. Kerry so experienced at this level. This is their 59th All-Ireland semi-final. It's Monaghan's 13th. They've only won one of the previous 12. That was in 1930. Indeed, the players from both teams were anxious that I should convey their good wishes, and my own indeed, to Michael O'Hare. We've mentioned already, if he is up and about watching this game, we hope he enjoys it, and we hope he's back here at Croke Park very, very shortly. So in the middle of the field, Hugo Clark in there on the left for Monaghan. David Byrne, the man who is based here in Dublin, but who plays middle of the field for Monaghan. A lot will be expected of him. Hugo Clark, and I expect to mark Jack O'Shea, by the way. Indeed, the last time he marked Jack O'Shea in the championship, he'll remember, it was a bit of a nightmare match, that game in 1979. Agus anish on slua e shasav ta Auron na via. The cheer is quite deafening as Monaghan bid to do what only 4 Ulster teams before them have done in 25 years. That's qualified for the big one in Gaelic football, the final. Kerry so assured, so confident at this stage, last beaten in a semi-final in the classic 77 game by Dublin. So referee Paddy Kavanagh gets the first of the All-Ireland football semi-finals underway, and it's Kerry who play from left to right. Ambrose O'Donovan to Owen Liston, who's gone rambling out under the 40 metres already. Jack O'Shea getting that from Ogie Moran. Stopped in there by Gene Sherry for Monaghan. This is Declan Flanagan, number 7 and wing back, running into a tenacious Ger Power in there. Kerry will be anxious to unsettle Monaghan early on. Indeed, the message from the Monaghan camp is if we can survive the first 20 minutes, we're in with a real good chance. Here's Nudie Hughes. Fair bit of movement as he gives it to David Byrne. Eugene O'Hanlon here being marshalled by Mick Spillane. Here's John Higgins, but the referee was a little unhappy with that challenge there by Eugene O'Hanlon. He gives the first free to Kerry. So the irrepressible Paddy O'Shea taking this free, the Kerry captain, picking up Mick Spillane. Little or no breeze about, by the way, but the ground, as you'll have seen in that first match, is very slippery. Pat Spillane being marked by Brendan Murray. Here's Ger Lynch. Jack O'Shea, one of the danger men from a Monaghan point of view, and I noticed that Moody Hughes has gone over near side of him. Referee's whistle going again. So it's Mikey Sheehy, and how good it is to see him back in Croke Park. There were real fears that his career would be terminated pretty early. He's only 31 with that knee injury. You see the left knee there heavily bandaged, but it's good to see him back. This free from just outside the 20-metre line. And Paddy Linden is there with Owen Liston coming in. Fergus Caulfield. A lot of movement at the moment from both teams. Players moving quickly out of positions. Here's Tom Spillane, Eugene O'Hanlon robbing him. Ambrose O'Donovan. And Liston is out on the 45-metre line. The shoulder from Jack O'Shea on Jerry McCarville. Picking up Hugo Clarkin. Clarkin is held by John Higgins, by Ger Lynch rather. Lynch protesting his innocence there to referee Paddy Kavanagh. Hugo Clarkin with the free, one of the senior members of this team, down towards Eugene O'Hanlon, but very near the sideline. O'Hanlon, whose father indeed, Seamus, played for Tipperary and for Munster in the 50s. So Tom Spillane finds himself out of position, having to take this line ball. Really skidding through the centre to John Kennedy. Trying to open up something for Owen Liston, who came back from New York on Thursday. Got a misunderstanding with John Kennedy. Jerry McCarville nips in. So the opening 4 minutes played at a really blistering pace. Little pattern so far. Here's Ger Lynch. And the referee's whistle goes. The referee says Ger Lynch held onto the ball too long. This is Kieran Murray. From his own 65-metre line, that's a good kick. Punched in by Eamon McEnany. Eugene O'Hanlon really came flying out for that one. John Higgins, Ogie Morgan was waiting for it, and Kieran Murray was in quickly. Well, it's quite amazing really, because backs are playing in forward position, forwards have moved back into defence, and there you see a foul on Tom Spillane. Tom obviously a little shaken, but Monaghan really prepared to take the game to Kerry. Hugo Clarkin calls for it all alone in midfield, anxious to establish a foothold in there. Here's Moody Hughes. He was right cornerback in 1979. He scored a point, and he's got the opening point here. Moody Hughes, the ever popular Moody, after 5 minutes gives Monaghan the lead. Monaghan's only ever All-Star, Moody Hughes. He's had a very good year, responding well to Sean McCage's training. It's going to be an interesting contest between Paddy O'Shea and Nudie Hughes. There's Charlie Nelligan. David Byrne beaten in the air by Ambrose O'Donovan, but could only punch it on. Brendan Murray, he's got that difficult task of holding Pat Spillane today. Tommy Doyle looking for Pat Spillane, cut out. Brendan Murray, but robbed in by Pat Spillane, but the referee says it was an illegal challenge. Play moving very, very quickly. Ray McCarron looking for Monaghan's second score. Poor ball cut out by Ambrose O'Donovan, who's become a very complete midfield man. Paddy O'Shea and O'Donovan kept on motoring. Ger Parr claiming that he should have had a free that time, and the ball booted out over the end line by Brendan Murray at the expense of a 45. The first of the game, and there are 7 minutes gone. So he knows what his task is. He's one of the youngest players on the Monaghan team today, still under 21, Brendan Murray, marking that human dynamo there, the number 12, Pat Spillane. Mike Sheehy anxious to take it quickly to Jack O'Shea, gets a good return, trying to set himself up for a shooting chance. And Paddy Linden getting good cover from his defence, but he just taking a little bit too much of a risk that time. Pat Spillane is loose from that loose ball. Owen Liston and Jerry McCardle. Declan Flanagan waiting to pick up the pieces. Well, can McCardle hold Owen Liston? That's one of the big questions. Paddy O'Shea way over there on that left wing, and this is John Kennedy, number 10 in his back, but playing over on the left just at the moment. Hugo Clarkin saw that skidding off the greasy surface. Here's Pat Spillane trying to get into his rhythm, eluding Brendan Murray, and it's still not wide. Kept in play by Declan Flanagan. David Byrne, long, rangy player. Nudie Hughes, Monaghan looking the sharper of the two sides in the opening 5-10 minutes. Having the cushion of that early point from Nudie Hughes. This is Michael O'Dowd, played on the 40 the last day against Derry, in towards Eamon Murphy. He's the full forward. Oh, it's an impressive run, but they must finish. And as so often in the past, their finishing leaves them down. David Byrne was the one with the chance, after a good bit of spade work done by the full forward Eamon Murphy. Well, Charlie Nelligan, in his 9 years with the Kerry seniors, has seen all this happen before in the opening minutes, as Kerry struggled to hold off the game challenge from Monaghan and bid to establish their own rhythm. That's John Higgins. Ooh. Put into the sideline by Hugo Clarkin. And a shoulder being caught that time by Fergus Caulfield. The shoulder, the jersey indeed belonging to this man, Mikey Sheehy. Free into Kerry. So the Brollies have come back out again. This summer you measure the days by the number of inches of rain that fall. Here's Mikey Sheehy's free with the outside of the boot towards Ger Parr and Owen Liston. This is Kieran Murray. Being bundled over there, but fouled in the process. Well, they say about this fellow that if he hadn't opted for Gaelic football, he's so fast he could well have made an international sprinter. Gene Sherry, the captain. It's an old Scottstown full back line, by the way. Ray McCarron, giving Michael O'Dowd a bit of work to do. Nudie Hughes couldn't control it. There's a real belief in this Monaghan team that they can do it. Paddy O'Shea in the dressing room beforehand looked very determined, however. Good catch by Declan Flanagan. Michael O'Dowd opening up the play down towards Eamon Murphy. This start will give them a belief in themselves. Ray McCarron kicking, and it's over the bar. There are 11 minutes gone, and Monaghan hold a 2-point lead. That was a beautiful score by Ray McCarron, who was brought up in Luton, by the way, and spent the first 15 years of his life in England, and was only introduced to Gaelic football when the family moved back to Monaghan. So the champions clearly unnerved just at the moment, packing in there, as you saw, 4 men going for that one ball. Pat Spillane was the one who emerged with it. Jack O'Shea moving back towards Paddy O'Shea's corner because Paddy has come up to take the free. Looking around to make sure everybody's covered off, because this is just outside the 45-metre line, and he's looking for Kerry's first score. No joy that time, however. Monaghan, of course, hoping to make age count, because they're by far and away the younger side, the fitter-looking side on the evidence of the game so far. David Byrne can only palm it down. Ogie Moran was there to pick it up. Was there a push that time? The referee decides no. Here's Jerry McCarville. Trying to pick out Eamon Murphy. David Byrne only giving it to the fullback, Tom Spillane. Cut out by Jerry McCarville. Well, he's stopping the supply of ball reaching Owen Liston so far. The cheers are for him. They're now for Hugo Falcon. Nudie Hughes has moved out into the middle of the field to establish some kind of authority out there. As we watch Ray McCarron in action, scorer of the last point, kicking this beautifully. Oh, that was from 40 metres, and Monaghan are 3 points to the good. Ray McCarron's second point. Well, this is really putting it up to the All-Ireland holders. Is a shot on in Croke Park for the second Sunday in succession. Almost 14 minutes of the first half gone. And it's a long time since Kerry went that length of time at the start of a match without scoring. Nudie Hughes down for Eamon Murphy again. He's really moving well, giving Tom Spillane a testing afternoon. Nudie Hughes again. Michael O'Dowd makes himself available just right-hand side. Nudie Hughes, however, is trying to pick out man on the far side, Ray McCarron. He's done so. Trying to sneak inside Ger Lynch. This is Brendan Murray, but it's gone out over the end line, off the Kerry defender. That's going to be a 45. This is a great display by Monaghan so far. They deserve the credit. Brendan Murray there, doing a Pat Spillane on it, as it were. The bemused face of Owen Liston, wondering what's going wrong. So, Eamon McEnany here, who scored 3 goals and 16 points in this year's championship. And Monaghan, it goes off the post when Monaghan nearly went 4 points ahead. They may yet. Ray McCarron is the extra man. There's the kick, and that's the point. Ray McCarron has scored 3 of Monaghan's 4 points. Defensively, Kerry, who looked so secure, are now having some desperate lapses. We've a quarter of an hour gone. beautifully fielded by Jack O'Shea. Now he must get motoring. John Higgins, you can see the determination the Monaghan men are showing. But the loose man in the middle is John Kennedy. As the Kerry forwards now start to move forward, making diagonal runs for Kennedy. Here's one of them, and here's the other. Pat Spillane as Kerry come looking for an opening point, and they've got it. It's so difficult to keep this man down. Kerry's opening score has come after 16 minutes. And Paddy Linden is waiting because the referee has had his attention called by one of the linesmen, and he's now running into the centre of the field, Paddy Kavanagh here, having a word with Fergus Caulfield and with Mikey Sheehy, warning them about some pushing off the ball. David Byrne watches that slip into the arms of his colleague Eamon McEnany. Tom Spillane came out, Jack O'Shea wasn't expecting it, they're going backwards. Paudie O'Shea here. Cool defence under pressure. Not a good kick, however. Comes to Eamon McEnany for Monaghan. In towards Eamon Murphy, the full forward. They've got a good understanding. That's through for Hugo Clarkin. The midfielder is 20 metres out, and this is for Michael O'Dowd. And Charlie Nelligan has to produce a very good save. It's a very good save. It's gone for a 45. The build-up was interesting. Just watch this once more. Hugo Clarkin got involved from that pass there by Eamon McEnany, and Michael O'Dowd, that was the shot, and that's a good save. He must have seen it late. So in attack, Monaghan showing the more enterprising moves. Kerry, frankly, it's hard to say about Kerry, but they're looking a tired side. Here's Eamon McEnany. Another lovely kick. Another fine point. Eamon McEnany's first score. So now, with 18 minutes of the first half gone, it's a turn for the blue and white flags to fly once more as that drizzle comes down from the sky yet again. They only scored 7 points in 79, and they're almost up at that total already. There's Jack O'Shea being challenged all the way by Hugo Clarkin. The challenge was so great indeed that Hugo forced Jack into the error, and that'll be a sideline ball for Monaghan. Jerry McCarville here, who was a midfielder in 1979. Indeed, the tactic was that if he was having difficulty holding Owen Liston, that he would move forward. So far it's worked well, however. Good catch by Jack O'Shea. Tommy Doyle trying to burrow his way through two Monaghan white shirts. Gets the free. And Monaghan penalised a further 10 metres for a show of dissent. Paudie O'Shea, who seems to be taking all the frees. Again, he checks behind him to make sure that everybody's picked up. It's a good kick from Paudie O'Shea in towards Mikey Sheehy. Good block down by Fergus Caulfield, his marker, and that's another 45. Well, so far it's turned out to be one of the best games of Gaelic football we've seen this season. The 45 taken quick, back to Mick O'Shea from Paudie O'Shea, from Mick Sheehy rather. And the final kick is wide by Mikey Sheehy. Well, they're now taking quick kick-outs, Monaghan. Retaining possession, and the referee decides to penalise Hugo Clarkin. I think he's decided that he picked the ball off the ground. Mikey Sheehy takes it quickly. Monaghan will have to watch out for this. But that's Brendan Murray beating Pat Spillane. And Brendan Murray is out there again. The two Murrays on the Monaghan half-back line. The support coming from Mick Spillane. Hugo Clarkin, he's playing a great game so far. And this is Moody Hughes trying to sneak inside Paddy O'Shea, but it goes out over the sideline. The two Kerry quarterbacks, Mick Spillane and Paddy O'Shea, are being pulled this way and that. John Higgins lets it behind him. Kerry trying to get into the old pattern, the old rhythm. Owen Liston fielding under this one, but Jerry McCague will only punch it down to Ambrose O'Donovan, in towards Pat Spillane. 35 minutes out from the Monaghan goal as we watch John Kennedy make an angle for himself, beat Declan Flanagan. But not the second time. Here's a third chance for John Kennedy. It comes off the pole to Ger Power, and it's a goal! Ger Power, the goal scorer, and Kerry are back with a vengeance against the run of play, let it be said. There was a touch of good luck in the goal as we watch it. John Kennedy at the third attempt flung it in, intending for a point, but it came off the post. Everybody was ball watching except Ger Power, and he took the relatively easy chance. So, Monaghan now leading by just a point, 5-4. What will that do for Kerry? Will it bring them back into the match a bit more as it should? Will it shatter Monaghan's early confidence? John Kennedy up for Pat Spillane, looking for an equalising point. And Paddy Linden fairly well grounded in there by Ger Power. Paddy Linden in there, I wonder, is he injured? He certainly isn't able to get off the deck. Ger Power clearly buried under Paddy Linden, and the Monaghan goalkeeper, you can watch again the incident. Linden came out to it, had the ball cleanly, and here was Ger Power's challenge. He hit him and went head over heels, and obviously the goalkeeper came thundering off the ground. And I think it was the contact that his head made with the ground that has created the concussion. Well, he's looking decidedly groggy. The Monaghan reserve goalkeeper is Declan McCardle, and he's warming up over on the far side of the field. There's Sean McCague giving a tap to his goalkeeper. That's McCardle, who can now go back into the dugout because Linden is back on his feet. Well, he's sufficiently recovered to tell Jerry McCarville to get out into the defence, that he's going to take the free. 10 minutes to go to half-time. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable first half so far. Hope you at home are enjoying it. Kieran Murray with the kick. Tom Spillane watching that one, and it hadn't gone out over the sideline. Paddy O'Shea ever vigilant. Hugo Clarkin challenged for that and beaten for it by Ambrose O'Donovan, but Kieran Murray is in there for Monaghan, up towards the ever-running Ray McCarron. Trying to set Eugene O'Hanlon away on his run once again, and Michael O'Dowd, but out over the sideline. A kick out will be for Kerry. Ambrose O'Donovan is doing his bit to establish a bit of authority in midfield. The kick out went straight out over the sideline. There's no doubt in my mind this Kerry team is unnerved. That goal was a very fortunate one. It should have brought them right back into it. But Monaghan now trying to grasp the initiative again. That's McEnany's kick. And that's Tom Spillane coming with determination from his goal. But when he hand-passed it, nobody was expecting it. Brendan Murray. Michael O'Dowd, does the goal count? It does. The Monaghan goal by Michael O'Dowd. And so Monaghan lead by double scores. 26 minutes minutes of the first half gone, and this was the move. Watch as Tom Spillane came out. Then there was that hand pass towards his brother Pat. It was a poor hand pass. Pat wasn't expecting it. Eamon Murphy was in there, and it was Brendan Murray who funneled it through to Michael O'Dowd, and there must have been a suspicion there, I thought, that he might have touched it on the ground. It may just have been hopping sufficiently. Monaghan now trying to put home every possible chance. That shot by O'Dowd again. Power. Here's the other Ger Lynch. Well, they certainly know they're in the match at this stage. The champions made to fight for everything. Here's Owen Liston. In towards Mikey Sheehy. But Monaghan there in numbers. That's Kieran Murray. The most spirited performance is coming from them. They're playing with the power and they're playing with the passion. Nudie Hughes, was there a push? There was. The referee decides as they play away, it'll be a free out, it won't count. Nudie Hughes there with a discernible push on the defender. He says it was your man's fault. So the supporters, certainly from Monaghan, thoroughly enjoying this contest. Spillane Street. Hugo Clarkin was jumping all alone for just a moment. Midfield has been owned for most of this first half by Monaghan. The National League champions, hoping this year, of course, to add the championship, same as Kerry did last year. It's going to be a Monaghan goal. So Eamon McAneeny's sideline kick from 50 metres. Looking for the other Eamon Murphy, but that's Tommy Spillane out quickly. To the other Tommy Doyle rather. It's between McCarbon and Liston. Up towards Ger Power, trying to get inside Gene Sherry. The defensive cover coming from Kieran Murray. Ambrose took his eye off it, and the other number 9, David Byrne, takes it away from Monaghan. Very near the sideline. Last year's captain makes a good recovery. This is his partner in midfield, Jack O'Shea. Between them, this Kerry team has something like 60 All-Ireland medals. So there's plenty of experience for the second half yet, as Jack is fouled, and the free will be to Kerry. The referee giving Kerry an extra 10 metres as one of the defenders hadn't moved back. Fergus Caulfield hadn't moved back 10 metres. So this is Mike Sheehy's kick, and Mike Sheehy has put it wide. The umpire pondered for just a moment. Mike obviously disappointed. So still Monaghan ahead by 4 points. Inside the last 5 minutes of this enthralling first half. This is Kieran Murray being chased by the other number 6, Tommy Doyle. But that loose ball is picked up by Mick Spillane. There seemed to be a bit of pushing by Ogie Moore, and there was indeed. The referee gives the free to Monaghan. Ogie Mullen, who's won 6 All-Ireland medals, always as a centre forward. On the 2 occasions when he was picked at wing forward, Kerry lost 76 and 82. Nice catch by Paddy O'Shea. There's nothing he'd love more than to take the Sam back to Ventry. This is one man who's prepared to help in the task, carrying the battle to Monaghan. Tom Spillane, the fullback, looking for a point. Owen Liston keeps it in play. They might get a goal yet. That's Fergus Caulfield robbing Mikey Sheehy. A most valuable catch. Declan Flanagan has the legs taken from him by John Kennedy, and the referee decides that that's a bookable offence. Well, it hasn't been that kind of match so far. That's the first name we've seen taken. Let's hope it'll be the last. Linden. Jack O'Shea was all alone, fielding it quite cleanly. Michael O'Dowd now preparing to put in a challenge, but the Kerry man transfers it to Ogie Moran. They must get another point or two surely before half time to set themselves up for a good challenge in the second half. But it's a match that has lived up to everything we could have hoped for. David Byrne. The big question, I suppose, for the second half will be, will experience be enough for Kerry to see them through? Here's Mikey Sheehy. Fergus Caulfield follows him everywhere. A little bit over-enthusiastic in the challenge. So the referee decides that he's going to throw it in. Jack O'Shea and Hugo Clarke. And this time the referee decides that Jack is the one who's guilty of committing the foul. Seems a curious decision. So young Brendan Murray, who is based here in Dublin, travels up regularly to Monaghan for training sessions under Sean McCague. And a change being made, I think. David Byrne is going off. The Monaghan team carrying a leg, it must be said. There's tall David Byrne. He's going to be a very big loss. We'll just wait and see. I think it's Paul Curran who's come in. It is. And here is the number 17, Paul Curran. Looks a bit like Kevin Keegan, doesn't he? A lot expected from young Paul Curran. A real prospect indeed. Jerry McCarville, watch that one sliding on the grass. Fergus Caulfield, the cornerback. Owen Liston, the ref decides, didn't allow him play it. So a free from Monaghan's 65-metre line as we're inside the last minute of this first half. A first half dominated from start to finish by Monaghan. Declan Flanagan's kick as they lead still by 4 points, 1-5 to 1-1. Flanagan gets the return. Now this time he's lobbing it right in there towards Ray McCarron. Nudie Hughes bustling away in there too, but that's Ger Lynch, who's recovered his form in the last 10 minutes, has marked Ray McCarron a good deal tighter. Hugo Clarke, who started very well. Tommy Doyle bidding to get to grips with this game. Hugo commits the foul, and Mick Spillane says, take it easy, there's another 35 minutes to go. So we're into time added on, as Owen Liston feels the referee calls for the ball, and it's the end of one of the best first halves of football I've seen in the championship this year. Monaghan, as the crowd rise to them, going in at half-time, having taken the fight to the champions, and leading at half-time by 1 goal and 5 points to Kerry's 1 goal and 1. It has the makings of a terrific second half. 35 minutes to go. An All-Ireland final place on September the 15th, waiting one or other of these teams. But it really has been put up to the champions. Here's Ambrose O'Donovan as they start this second half in relatively positive fashion. But then a sideline kick straight away awarded to Monaghan. Jean Sherry's kick. And the switches for Kerry in the forward line have seen John Kennedy move up into the corner. As we watch Mikey Sheehy. Outside him to his left there, running out of picture, was John Kennedy, but Mikey Sheehy was being held in any case. And this, of course, is the one thing Monaghan cannot afford to do: give away frees in advantageous positions like this. Mikey Sheehy's free inside the 45 metres, his side behind by just 3 points as the deficit is cut back to more manageable proportions. Just a goal between them now, thanks to Mikey Sheehy's first point. Monaghan, of course, aware that it would be so foolish to write off a side as experienced and as classy as this Kerry team. Paddy Linden's very high kick out, fisted back down by Pat Spillane, but only as far as Jean Sherry. Here's Ger Lynch comfortably under it, the man from Valencia. To John Kennedy, who's now moved back out from the corner, back into the 40-metre line. Here's Timmy Dowd. Kennedy once more. I think the message from Mick O'Dwyers is quite plain: get moving quickly or you'll be out of this one. And Paddy O'Shea, the captain, coming from the right corner back position to take the free. This one about 50 metres or a little more from the Monaghan goal. A good mighty kick off Jerry McCarville's fingers, it seemed to go. Still in play. Owen Liston back for Dowd, and Timmy Dowd has got a point for Kerry 2.5 minutes after coming onto the field. So now it's back to just 2 points. Well, there was quite a deal of surprise in Kerry that Timmy Dowd was omitted in the first half. It seemed that after the Munster final that changes were called for. Jack O'Shea in that congested midfield area with Tommy Doyle picking it out of the sky. O'Shea's kick forward towards Liston. On for Pat Spillane with Brendan Murray there in close attention, but Pat Spillane's got it 20 metres out. 2 points between them. And that time Paul Curran, a substitute for Monaghan in the first half, holding on to Owen Liston. Free into Kerry. And Monaghan penalised a further 10 metres for dissent. Pat Spillane has done his good work. Mike Sheehy to do his, and now it's wide, it's wide. It seemed to have gone straight over. It was the simplest of chances. Well, I wonder if that will matter at the end of the 70 minutes. He can afford a wry smile. Jack O'Shea, Kerry certainly starting very positively in midfield. The one sector of the field that they were out of it in really in the first 30 minutes. This is McCarville, leaving it behind for Timmy Dowd, the chance of a goal, but stopped brilliantly by Fergus Goldfield. But there to pick up the loose ball, Mikey Sheehy, awkward angle for him. Well, he missed an easier one from a free, but Mikey Sheehy has got this one for his own second point, and now it's just a point between them. 1-4 for Kerry, 1-5 for Monaghan. So the Kerry machine moving into top gear when called into action. Hugo Clarkin. Well, driving it forward, but there was nobody really up there for it. And Nudie Hughes telling Hugo that he wanted it in a little bit lower than that. Well, in the opening 5 minutes of the second half, it's been Monaghan's worst period in the match so far. They've conceded 3 points to Kerry, and more important than that, they've made a dreadful start in midfield. Eamon McEnany, by the way, has moved into midfield, and the loss of David Byrne, I think, is going to be a very, very big loss for Monaghan. As we watch Pat Spillane getting that pass from Owen Liston back to Linston. The shot, the save by Linden, and Jerry McCabe clears Kerry's best chance of a goal, apart from that one that fell fortunately for Ger Power in the first half. Nudie Hughes, a very high challenge. Referee says play on. This is John Kennedy angling for the pass. Mike Sheehy has started to click into top gear, kicking well from that right wing. The breeze holds it, however. Well, Kerry just a minute ago really should have gone in front for the first time in the match when this effort here went into the Monaghan parallelogram. Pat Spillane had the pass back out to Owen Liston, who kept on motoring, having started the move, but watch how the blasting shot was stopped point blank by Paddy Linden. So back live with the action. Monaghan, who've led from the very first kick, it seems, winning a free now for a very high challenge by Ger Power on Kieran Murray, and the referee taking the name of Ger Power. He becomes the second player to have his name taken in this match. They've both been from Kerry. It's interesting indeed how the Monaghan style has changed in the last couple of years. They were known as a side that played direct, strong, open football. There's now a good deal more running and more fluency in it. Owen Liston fisting it on for Timmy Dowd, had difficulty controlling it, but Liston, powerfully built man, rifling in that shot, and it's Owen Liston's first point, and the sides are level. For the first time in the game since the throw-in, 8 minutes into the second half, the sides are all square. Owen Liston, who scored 2 goals and 6 points in a match in New York last Sunday where he plays for the Clare club, back doing his stuff here in Croke Park today. Well, at this stage, Monaghan need a bit of direction and a bit of inspiration from people like Hugo Clarkin. They haven't scored yet in the second half, but here's Eamon Murphy. They have now! The goal they wanted has come. They're back in front again. Just a minute after Owen Liston had equalised, Eamon Murphy has scored, and Monaghan lead by a goal. And it was all started in midfield by Hugo Clarkin. That pass there saw Eamon Murphy going up for it, having difficulty getting away from Tom Spillane, but then rifling in the shot low beyond Charlie Nelligan. Eamon Murphy has scored 3 goals here in Croke Park in February against Kildare. This is very much a favourite venue for him, as McCabe shepherded that one out over the end line despite the close attentions of the bomber. Well, that was the goal that Monaghan required to really make a match of this. In their 2 previous championship matches against Kerry, the All-Ireland final of 1930, they scored a miserable 2 points. 6 years ago they could only score 7. So far today they've scored 2 goals and 5. Beautiful fetching that by young Timmy Dowd, the number 16, held in mid-air it seemed. Free into Kerry. Once again, Paudie O'Shea has come from defence to kick in the free towards Liston. But even tall man that Liston is, 6 feet 3 inches tall, he couldn't quite control that one. So, can the bomber do what he's done to so many defences over the last 6 years, rifle in the scores that Kerry now so sorely need. Timmy Dowd punching this one down. He's made a difference since coming in on the 40-metre line. But it's Paul Curran who sets Kieran Murray away. This is Nudie Hughes. Robbed there, however, by Ger Power. Paddy Shea changing the direction of the play. Liston kept moving forward. John Kennedy's inside. So too Fergus Caulfield. He's a very fine defender. Fouled in possession by John Kennedy. So now for about the next 10 minutes it'll be very important for Gene Cherry's side here to stay in front, keep their noses ahead and force Kerry into some degree of frustration. Jack O'Shea was the one who got that one beneath somebody's legs, it seemed, into Tommy Doyle. 45 metres out, fouled by Eamon McEnany. The referee's going to have a quick word with McEnany. Well, let's hope the rest of the second half will not degenerate into a series of frees. There was plenty of movement in the first half and a lot of good football too. So a goal between them as Mikey Sheehy cuts the deficit to just 2 points. Mike Sheehy's third point, making it Monaghan 2-5, Kerry 1-9, 11-9. 1-6 rather, 11-9. Some mighty jumping in midfield, but the break of the ball comes down to Hugo Clarkin. This Monaghan team, of course, before this match, robbed of the services of people like Bernie Murray and Jerry Hoey through injury, and then robbed just before half-time of midfielder David Byrne. So they're doing well, having lost 3 such marvellous players. As Hugo Clarkin kicks in the shot, it comes off Eugene O'Hanlon, who hasn't been too much in the action. Ger Lynch is robbed in there by Eamon Murphy, the goal scorer some time ago. Here's O'Hanlon again, making his championship debut today for Monaghan, out over the end line, and it's wide. Eugene O'Hanlon there from Carrickmacross, brought into the game for his speed, and indeed we haven't seen him use too much of that. What lovely fielding that was by Jack O'Shea on his own 65-metre line. The support comes from Tommy Doyle, drawing the Monaghan man to him, then releasing that good ball for Owen Liston. Now they're moving nicely from Pat Spillane to Ambrose O'Donovan, inside the 13-metre line, and a good point. And there's just a point between them. 11-10 as Ambrose O'Donovan gets his name on the score sheet. Well, with the exception of the 77 semi-final, that classic game that Dublin won, defeating Kerry at the semi-final stage, Kerry haven't really had as hard a task since then. Remember, Kerry haven't been in front at any stage in this game so far. Timmy Dowd down to Owen Liston, who's beginning to open up now. Sheehy steadying himself, looking for an equaliser, not getting it. Well, a couple of years ago, I suppose, when Kerry were at their very top, Mikey Sheehy would have been sticking those ones over. Clearly disappointed with himself. A bit of buzz around Croke Park just now. Is another surprise, indeed sensation, on the cards? Kieran Murray tilting it down, despite the foul by Timmy Dowd. The referee allows an advantage for Hugo Clarkin, but Paul Curran can't keep it in play. still ahead by a point. Mick the taker. Owen Liston fisting it on, then in there to collect himself. Breaking out to Ger Power, Kerry's goal scorer. That fortunate goal that they got in the first half. Pat Spillane making a bit of an angle for himself, and he's scored. He got Kerry's first point, he's got Kerry's latest. The important thing is that the sides are tied up, we're all square. 2-5 to 1-8. Only 16 minutes of the second half gone. Mick Spillane explaining how it was done to Tim Kennelly. Mickey O'Sullivan there in the centre as well, one of the selectors. Everybody's on their feet now. The supporters all around rallying behind the two teams. The vast bulk of them, of course, coming from the north to support Monaghan. So, for just the second time in the game, Kerry have drawn level. Mick Spillane. Here's Mikey Sheehy. Kicking from near the end line, and it's wide. And I think I'm correct in saying that apart from that goal that Eamon Murphy has scored, we haven't seen another score from Monaghan in the second half. So what a very important score that was. Timmy Dowd fisting it down with great effort. Owen Liston now trying to create something of an upset in there. But the defence standing solid. Very composed defence. Kieran Murray gathered difficultly. Ger Lynch. John Higgins losing it. Jerry McCarville in with the tackle. Well, it's no kitchen party out there. And the referee deciding in the end that the Kerry man Pat Spillane dived on the ball, touched it on the ground. Free out to Monaghan. Just over 17 minutes to go. Jack O'Shea here. That's Eamon McEnany, the number 11. And I see Sean Welch warming up on the far side of the field as Owen Liston gets possession. In for Ger Power. Chance of a second goal for Ger Power. Surely! Yes! The referee, however, has decided that it's going to be a free out. Ger Power protesting, and this will be worth seeing again as Liston played the fist on that time. Ger Power, and he said that that Ger Power went in with the fist on the goalkeeper, free out accordingly. So no goal. And here's Sean Welch, the Kerry full-back, coming on, and he seems to be coming on in attack. Yes, the man who made his name last season as an all-star full-back, and it's John Kennedy who's going off. So Kerry now revealing their full hand. Ogie Moran there in the blue top having come off at half-time. John Kennedy now. And Monaghan, it seems, also making a change, because I see Paul Curran going off. We'll wait just to see who's come on. David Byrne has come back on with his leg strapped, and he's playing in midfield. So now both managers have made some interesting changes. Just over a quarter of an hour remaining. Terrific semi-final game this is. Declan Flanagan's kick. Eamon Murphy going out for it, but the loose ball there. Nudie Hughes is in touch. So too Ambrose O'Donovan, almost unthinking, fisting it to his right to Jack O'Shea. Hugo Clark in there with the challenge. There's a loose man coming from the back, and that's the captain. Nudie Hughes is still challenging in there, a little bit too forcefully for referee Paddy Kavanagh's liking. Paddy O'Shea's free, cut out or half cut out, but it breaks down to Pat Spillane. Remember, the sides are level, they're not anymore. For the first time in the game, Pat Spillane has put Kerry ahead. There are 14 minutes remaining. The all-important latest point, indeed the last two, have been scored by Pat. In fairness to Brendan Murray, indeed, the number 5 there, he's given Pat Spillane a very tough afternoon. Perfectly fair, of course, but he's challenged for everything. Jack O'Shea, here's Sean Welch, first touch of the ball for him. And he's fouled straight away by Gene Sherry. Of course, some years ago he used to be the super sub. Let's see if he can produce the goods today. Jack O'Shea's direct kick, tailing to the left, however. So Kerry remaining that 1 point in front. Kieran Murray gathering, but it's a very slippery ball. That's Hugo Clarkin. Declan Flanagan carrying the fight to the champions. Monaghan needing to take a few more scores, but they've been out of it in midfield. Eamon Murphy there, the goal scorer, seems to be limping. So Eamon McEnany with the sideline kick in front of an official attendance of 21,000. Nudie Hughes bustled in there, and a chance of a free and a chance of a point, which Nudie I think will take himself. No, he's going to leave it for Eamon McEnany. Well, aside from that goal, they've only scored, that was the only score in the second half, up to Eamon McEnany's kick, which has turned into a point. So they're level again. This enthralling semi-final has just 11.5 minutes remaining. Tommy Doyle. Fouled in possession by Brendan Murray. That's Kerry's 65-metre line. Audie Shea says, I'll take it. Again, it's knocked down towards Owen Liston and the other big man, Sean Welch. Fergus Caulfield would want to clear it fairly quickly with Pat Spillane around the place. Well, in last year's final, those were sailing over the bar, but this is still in play. Jerry McCarville committing himself fully, and Fergus Caulfield has started all that trouble, finishes it by clearing it out to Ray McCarron. It's been rearguard action for all this second half. It really has been all Kerry. Tom Spillane. Ger Lynch's kick down towards Ger Power, cut out by Jerry McCarville, but down as far as Ger Power again. The shot, it's wide. Disappointment for the 33-year-old, the most senior member of their forward line. Well, if support can win this game, Monaghan will be hoping that their vast support, easily there must be 15,000 here from Monaghan, that they can do it for them. Foul on Pat Spillane. Jack O'Shea's kick. Ger Power, Fergus Caulfield under the dropping ball. always alert to the danger. Free out to Monaghan for a bit of holding there on Fergus Caulfield. The sides still all tied up. 12 points apiece. 2 goals and 6 for Monaghan, 1 goal and 9 for Kerry. Monaghan, the no-hopers before this match. David Byrne just managed to get a touch to that, but it drops down kindly for Jack O'Shea. Paulie O'Shea, who used to play in the half backline some years ago, now moving forward at every opportunity. Pat Spillane here. Just inside 9 minutes of the semi-final to go. As Spillane kicks in, Linden had difficulty taking it. It seemed a relatively straightforward catch for the goalkeeper. Kieran Murray. Ger Parr now operating on the half-forward line. Liston playing just everywhere. McCarville, interestingly enough, hasn't followed him this time as Liston kicks and it's wide. They're still level. Well, those who said that Ulster football was very inferior to Munster football will have to think again. Can that be because this Monaghan team has risen to the challenge today and played above themselves? Or are Kerry just looking a tired and ageing side? No says Timmy Dowd and no says Paulie O'Shea. Anxious to get back into the final once more. Sean Welsh from Mikey Sheehy. Fergus Caulfield, the defender. Perfectly fair challenge, and the crowd rising on its feet to Fergus Caulfield. They're overdoing the passing just a little, it seems, but it's confident stuff. Here's McCarville. Free out to Monaghan. Declan Flanagan here, one of the quiet men in this Monaghan team. Having some difficulty getting it away to Kieran Murray. Tommy Doyle here, and this is where fitness is really going to count, as Doyle is held over there, and it's going to be a free for that bit of holding there by Michael O'Dowd. O'Dowd, who got Monaghan's goal in the first half, Eamon Murphy the goal scorer in the second. Gene Sherry parries it away, but only as far as that danger man again, Owen Liston. The little chip, this time Linden has no difficulty. And look where Nudie Hughes is. Not such a good ball, giving Eamon McEnany some trouble, putting his own defence in further difficulty as Jack O'Shea kicks, and Jack O'Shea scores. Kerry go in front, 6 minutes to go. Kerry 1-10, Monaghan 2-6. So now he encourages his fellow defenders and fellow attackers. Well, this is probably where leadership and experience is going to count. Will the old dog get through at the end of what has been a very long and difficult road? Kieran Murray bursting through for Monaghan. But the attack has let Monaghan down in the second half. They played such enterprising football, but then a foul. The referee says it's a free into Monaghan. That could be a very costly mistake by the number 7 there, John Higgins. Remember, Kerry have just taken the lead for the second time thanks to Jack O'Shea, and it's a relatively simple tap-over free for Eamon McEnany. 5 minutes to go and they're level again. Oh, this is the proverbial cracker of a semi-final. There's the scoreline. Confirmation of the state of things as Monaghan get ready to introduce another stop, and this time they're bringing on Kevin Carraher, and David Byrne has gone off for the second time in the match, would you believe? Well, I can't remember that happening before. Meanwhile, back down at the other end, Ger Power for Jack O'Shea to establish their lead, and he does so. Jacko, who's got the last couple of points. Jacko, who puts Kerry ahead with 4 minutes to go. Well, it's going to be a close call. Ender Colleran was saying at half-time that this could go right to the very finish, and how right he's been proved to be. Kevin Carragher, the sub, batting that one down to Kieran Murray. Declan Flanagan here, finding Eamon McEnany on his own 65-metre line up towards Eugene O'Hanlon, who hasn't really been a success in the Monaghan forward line, as John Higgins bats that one away with the right boot. Owen Liston opening up the play again. Declan Flanagan committed himself. Ger Power gets a very nasty boot that time, I thought. The referee says play away. It's tough, it's uncompromising, it's totally committed stuff as Nudie Hughes rages it on goal again. Monaghan behind by a point, and they get the free. Mick Spillane is absolutely disgusted, believing that he could have had a free out for overcarrying by Nudie Hughes. He certainly seemed to overcarry the ball. Mick Spillane was doing his stuff, trying to force the Monaghan forward into the error. The referee saw it otherwise. Kerry leading by a point. Eamon McEnany to restore parity. He's done it again. That's the score. Kerry 1-11, Monaghan 2-8. And everyone around here now living a bit on their nerves. It's nerve-tingling stuff. The crowd absolutely enjoying their afternoon sport. A marvellous advertisement for the game of Gaelic football. Kevin Carragher with the push down to Michael O'Dowd. And it's getting a little bit aggressive over there. Ger Power feeling that the free should be the other way, and the referee saw it that way as well. So he's throwing it in between Kevin Carragher there and Ambrose O'Donovan. Kieran Murray belting it forward towards Ray McCarron, who got 3 great points in the first half, hasn't got anything in the second half, as Eamon McEnany gets the loose ball. Scorer of the last point. Wide, it's wide. It can only have been a couple of inches wide of that right-hand post. Well, in fairness to both sides, it really has been the old proverbial tale of two halves. All Monaghan first half, all Kerry second half, and all to play for with 2 minutes to go. I suppose in a way what a shame it would be if either side was to lose the semi-final. There's deafening support here as Kerry come looking for a steel point to edge themselves into the All-Ireland final. They've got a free. Fergus Caulfield pushed that time on Ger Power. So if this match is to be won today, it'll be won in the last minute of the game. 45 seconds to go. This oh-so-vital kick from Mikey Sheehy. 65 metres out. There's a lot of booing, and that's unfortunate. Mikey keeping his cool, keeping his head, kicking well, and Kerry are ahead. Mikey Sheehy's 4th point, the most valuable one he's scored to date, and Kerry can breathe a sigh of relief with just 20 seconds to go. It's been a brave fight by Monaghan. They're not out of it yet, but they'll have to get the ball from this up to the forwards. But it's Kerry who've got it in the figure of Pat Spillane. Tommy Dowd. What Kerry want to do now is keep the pressure on. Gene Sherry, and we're into time added on for injuries. Kerry the leaders, Paddy Linden living dangerously, very dangerously, because that loose ball has gone to Jack O'Shea. Brendan Murray. Here's Eamon McEnany. One last gasp effort. Eamon Murphy, the goal scorer. He can't get up, however. He's got it now. 2 Kerry men, one of them Ger Power, and it's a free to Monaghan. So this must be it. And Tommy Spillane, you saw that time throwing the ball away, but the referee says the free is to be taken from outside the 45-metre line. So, what a position to be in for Eamon McEnany. He must score from this kick, otherwise Monaghan are out of the All-Ireland final. He must score directly. He's done it! Oh, what a kick that was! They're all level. Thanks to Eamon McEnany. It's Kerry 112, Monaghan 2-9. They surely will live now to fight another day. Well, all the pressure in the world was on him that time. 45 metres out that was. Charlie Nelligan, he's in no great hurry now. The one thing Kerry do not want to do is lose their championship in extra time. There's the whistle. They finish all square. They live to fight again. The fairest possible result. It's been a thundering good match. I hope you enjoyed it at home. Both sides having their moments. Ger Power shaking hands there with the brave Kieran Murray, who played so well. That semi-final, I assume, will be on the Sunday after next. But what a match it was, which ended on level terms as we go back to Michael Lester. Great stuff it was.
Yes, indeed. What a match, and end of colour, and what a finish indeed.
Yeah, it was a very exciting finish, and all credit to Monaghan. At times during the second half there we thought they were gone, but they never gave up, kept plugging away, and that was a fantastic effort by McEnany for the final point there.
It was a little bit like the drawn game against Armagh, except this one, I suppose, even more important and even a greater fight of courage to come back.
Yes, and when you can come like that and draw at Kerry in the dying minutes, it's a great performance, really.
Kevin Heffernan, you said just a moment ago, great fight back by Monaghan, you said to me, but they might not get the chance again, you added.
Well, I think, first of all, it would have been a shame for either side to lose. I think Kerry played a marvellous second half, Monaghan had a fabulous first half, and it would have been very hard on either of them to lose. I can't imagine Kerry playing as badly again as they played in the first half today. But the loss of David Byrne in the middle of the field was a terribly telling blow against Monaghan. I think if they had had him right through the game, I think they'd have won undoubtedly.
Well, Kevin, and assuming that things go well next Sunday against Mayo, I'm sure you'll be glad of another look at both of these sides.
Well, I don't want to see any of them. They're both playing so well now that either of them would be a very stiff hurdle to take. We're worried about Mayo, as you know, at the minute, and maybe it'll be something like this. I hope it'll be as good a game anyway.
Well, gentlemen, thank you both indeed for your comments during the match. We've certainly enjoyed it over the last 70 minutes here at Croke Park. I'm sure that both managers Mick O'Dwyers and Sean McCague were also very relieved that both of them lived to fight another day. Well, they came up to speak to Ger Canning after the match, and Ger put it to Mick O'Dwyers first that must have been Kerry's toughest championship match for a long time.
I think it was the toughest since 1980 when we played Roscommon in the All-Ireland final. I don't think we've had a tougher game since.
They really took the fight to you in that first half. It was a blistering first half from their point of view. What went wrong for Kerry?
I don't know, on the day we just didn't seem to get going in the start there. You know, our forwards were overplaying the ball, our midfielders weren't contesting that well. You know, we were a little bit loose at the back. It's hard to give a reason for a display like that, but whatever, anyway, we got it going in the second half, and I think that was the most important thing of all, that we came back into the game and drew it.
Is it a question of this Kerry team just getting on in years at this stage?
Well, they can't be getting any better anyway. You know, they're getting old and they're getting on in years. But I don't think that is the problem at all. That's a good Monaghan team. And I think they have proved that. They won the league and they've played pretty well in the championship. I think they're a very good side, and they proved it out there today. They're able to take their scores, and they're very fit, and they kept on fighting right through to the finish. I mean, even that last score from 48 metres out was an outstanding score.
Well, despite that last score, there will be those who will say that the initiative has now been lost by Monaghan, that you won't be got the second day.
I wouldn't say that at all, Joe. I think Monaghan are in there with every bit as much of a chance as we have. But I'd be hoping that we will improve, definitely. We could well have done without the extra game in the championship if we are to win. And that is no certainty now. But the extra game, I think, won't do our team any good at this stage.
Sean, I don't know whether to congratulate you or commiserate you. What do you think?
I suppose neither in the circumstances. Initially, I was disappointed. I've matured a lot in the last 10 minutes. I've come to realise that all isn't lost. And although I was disappointed initially at not being in the All-Ireland final for the first time, I realise now that we still have the chance.
It was there for the taking at half-time, obviously. So what went wrong in the second half?
We got a little disorganised, particularly around midfield. The loss of David Byrne caused some confusion for us. The other two lads that we tried at midfield just didn't lift it, so it was only when Eamon Murphy got the goal midway through the second half that it settled us again, and we were able to fight back into it again.
Would you agree that your forward play was particularly scrappy in that second half?
It was, but again, due to the scrappy possession they were getting, it was very difficult. Jack Shane and his partner Ambrose, they dominated midfield so much that our forwards were only getting crumbs.
You were totally written off by just about everybody, I suppose, going into this match. Was that an added incentive for your players to prove everybody wrong?
Maybe. I don't think so, really, because our players are mature enough to realise that it's what they do themselves, it's not what anybody says about them. And I think that they'll come along again next Sunday week and say, right, we thought we were going to win the last day, but we went to win, and we'll go back to do the same thing with the same intention. What
will this performance have done for your team for Sunday week? Because lots of people will say, you've had your chance once, you won't get it a second time.
What people say doesn't matter, it's what the team do on the day there. I have no doubt that the players will settle themselves again, they'll get their concentration right, and hopefully they'll hold the concentration for the full 70 minutes the next time.